All right, Shalom Aleichem. We're in the week of Mishpatim. We're finished with Torah, with Matan Torah and Yisro. Now we're in Mishpatim. Mishpatim has a lot of dinim. Also, this week we bench Rosh Chodesh Adar this Shabbos, and this week we do not read the regular Haftorah. Why don't we read a regular Haftorah of Mishpatim this week? Because we are starting the 4 Parshios. Shkolim, Zochar, Parah, Chodesh. That means Purim is coming and Pesach is coming. So, Mishpatim. Let us start Mishpatim. Mishpatim has 28 themes, sugyas in it. 58 mitzvos and 28 sugyas, concepts. And the first one is about an Eved Ivri. Because they just came out of Mitzrayim. They're going to be in this midbar 40 years. They don't know it. They think they're going to Eretz Yisrael right away. Eretz Canaan, they think. And, but the first thing that Parsha tells you is about Eved Ivri. Because they were slaves in Mitzrayim, and now they teach them, when you come to your country and you have employees, slaves, know how to treat them. The first mitzvah is an Eved Ivri. Now, this week's Haftorah also talks about Eved, about your Eved. Where is that? Go to the Haftorah in Mishpatim. In Yirmiyahu Lamed Daled. There was a certain word that came to Yirmiyahu. L'shalach ish, every man should send out as Avdo, his servant. The ish as shibchoso, everyone his female servant. Ho ivri v'habriyah, the Jew and the Jewess. Chovchim free. The Vilti Abo Bam Yehudi Achihu Ish. Don't work with any Jewish slaves. So they sent away all their slaves and freedom, because obviously they kept them more than 6 years. But then they took them back. The people went back to the old ways. Vayashuvu. Achri came Yoshivu Eso'ev Ba'avodim B'Shvachos. They took them back. And very bad things happened. That Haftorah in Yirmiyahu Lamed Daled, that's a perfect Haftorah for Mishpatim, because it starts out with Eved Ivri. Except we don't learn that Haftorah this week, because this week is Parshas Shkolim. So we read about money, Shkolim. Where does it say that? In Melachim Bey, Siman Yud Aleph, the Yichros Yehoyada, a tzaddik, a kohen gadol, made a bris between Hashem and between the Melech and between the people. And it talks in the first section, Vayismach Kol Am Yisrael, the whole Jewish people were very happy. V'ha'ir Shokota was very quiet, city Yerushalayim. That's Atal Yohu, this evil woman, Atal Yohu, Hemisu, they killed her. The Cherev, with the sword, and the house of the Melech, and the dogs ate her. Who was this wicked woman, Atalia? Daughter of 2 wicked people, Achab and Izebel. Then comes Ben Sheva Shalom Yehoash Mamalcha. Yehoash was 7 years old when he became a king. Shlomo was not the youngest, at 12. Yoash, or Yehoash, same person, was 7 years old, and he was a very good man. And they started to collect money, shkolim, for the upkeep of the house, bedek habayis. And the whole Haftorah goes into that, raising money for the base of Mikdash. So that's why we read it on today, this Shabbos Shkolim, because the Shabbos before Rosh Chodesh Adar starts, everyone has to prepare to give Chatzi Shekel before Purim. And the people in Eretz Yisrael, before Nisan came, even Adar, which is a month before, they already set up money changers. Everyone had to have a Chatzi Shekel. First of all, to count yourself. You had to be counted. You can't come to Yerushalayim unless you are counted. And from the Chatzi Shekel, they bought the carbon Talmud. So everyone had to have a Chatzi Shekel. Rich and poor, Chatzi Shekel. Not a whole shekel, Chatzi Shekel. And you couldn't give 1 shekel for 2 people. No, each one had to have a Chatzi Shekel. And that started always before the month of Adar. So this Shabbos, which is the Shabbos Mavorchim of Adar, we read about Shkolim. That used to be the practice in Eretz Yisrael. Now let us learn the Parsha. These are the Mishpatim, the laws you must place before them. So I told you there are 28 8 concepts here. Let me just run down quickly. The first one is Eved Ivri. Jewish slaves, male or female. There are 2 types. You sell yourself because you're destitute, or you get sold because you're poor and you can't pay off the thievery. Then there's Hey Tashlumim. If you hurt somebody, assault and battery, you have to pay Nezek, Tzar, Ripoy, Shevas, Boshes. And then there's the 24 Evorim, mistreatment of employees. You knock out their tooth and their eye and their ear and their fingers. You let the person has to go free. You lost your investment. Then there's the subject of Dal and others Nezikin, Av others Nezikin, the damages that people do. Shor, Bar, Maver, Vehever, you dig a hole in the ground in the public domain, you leave a piece of glass or a piece of banana peel, that's a bar, someone slips on it. Bar, Shor means it's a wild animal that gets loose, or you give your car to somebody and you know the brakes are bad, that's a Shor, out of control Shor. And Bar means a pit or a glass or a piece of banana. Maver, Vehever, you make a fire and it goes to the next person's yard, or animals eat up your grain. There are 28 concepts in this. Let's talk about the first one in Eved Ivri. Now, the words Eila HaMishpatim Shetosim, every letter really is a word. No trikin. No trikin means shorthand. Listen. Ve'ela Vav Aleph Lamed Hey. Ve'chayev Adam Lachakor Hadin. Before you take your friend to a court, you better investigate if you're going to lose or win. Because if you lose, you got to pay the expenses. So, before you go to court, Mishpatim is the rules. Before you go to the court, you, the litigant, the Baldin, who's slapping your friend because you think he owes you money, you better be sure you're going to win the case. The Chayev Vav Aleph Lamed Hey. The Chayev Adam Lachakor Hadin. You have to go through the din. HaMishpatim, the judge, Hadayon, Mutsuva, he's commanded, Shiyasa B'shora, to make a compromise. Terem Yasu Mishpat, before they stand in front of you. When they stand in front of you, you have to go through the whole process with witnesses and with testimony, and takes weeks, maybe months. But if they make a b'shara, it can be handled that one day. They settle on some kind of compromise. That's called b'shara. Every dayan is obligated not to bring the 2 litigants to Bezdin and try to settle it out of court, like most cases in America. So Hadayonim Mitzuvim Shiyaseh B'shara Terem Yaseh Mishpat. Asher, next word. Im Shneim Rotzim, if they both want it. Tosim Lefneim Tishma Shneim Yachid Midvein. Both litigants should listen what the man decides. If it goes to court, you win, one loses. Lifneihem, lo penei nediv yahadur hisnakim. Don't show any favoritism to a rich man. Be strange and cold, ice cold to both of them. No positive, no negative. Only you want to know the facts. That's why you can never be a dayan if any one of those people would know you, related to you, or you ever did a favor to them, or they ever did a favor to you. In fact, if he comes into the room on the day of the judgment and smiles at you, you're not allowed to look at him. You can't shake his hand. You have to treat him like 2 objects. One could be religious, one could be not religious. It has nothing to do with the case. One could be a Rosh and one could be Rosh Hashiva. Makes nothing to do with it. Well, you only want to find out who is guilty in this case. That's all. And if a person goes out of any case not guilty, that does not mean he's innocent. He's not guilty for a technical reason. All right, we just learned the first pasuk. Eila Mishpatim Shetosim L'Zem. Now we start out with the Eved Ivri. Kisikna Eved Ivri. If you buy a Jewish slave, Shei Shonim Yavod, he can work only 6 years. That's it. He stole from you $1 million, and after 6 years he worked off $500,000. Tough. He's free. He stole from you $10,000, and after 6 years he worked off $500,000. That's the way it goes. 6 years. Now, what kind of a slave is sold? If he has property, or a house, or animals, or a field, they put a lien on all his property, sell it to pay back you. If you, the one who's been robbed or damaged, they pay you back. If the man doesn't have any property, they sell him to me. Now, let's say I don't have a field or a factory. Let him sell to Ploni Almoni, and it'll work for him. And that man over there, instead of paying the slave gives me. because that's how I get the money. He works for him, and he's an employee. He didn't rob from that man. He works for that man, and the man pays me. The Beis Din will arrange that. He doesn't get anything. He got from that man room and board. That's it. And food, room and board, right? But that money goes to me until I'm paid off. And if I'm paid off after 3 years, the guy keeps working for 6 years. If he overworked, he doesn't get any money back from me. And if he underworked, I don't pay him any money. That's the way it is, 6 years. That's never be. Now, if he has enough money, the poor man, to pay back the Karen, the principal, he doesn't become a slave. He pays back the Karen. Let's say he doesn't have enough for the profit. Let's say he stole from me, I raised vegetables, he stole from me potatoes, right? And he stole $1,000 worth of potatoes, right? To me, there's 1,000, but I can make 2,000 out of it. If he has enough money in his property, they put a lien on his property to pay me back the Karen, 1,000, he doesn't become a slave, but he has to pay back the rest. But he doesn't become a slave. He only becomes an Eved if he can't pay back the Karen, the principal. Then he becomes my slave. Uvashviyas, in the 7th year, he goes free. Chinam, ain't no money. Well, free and no money is the same thing. You're trying to tell you, if you overwork, I don't have to pay him. If you underwork, tough luck with me, I lose. Chinam, being Bikapo Yovo, he came with his body, goof, unmarried. He came with his body, Yovo, he goes out unmarried. Then Baal Ishahu, if he's a married man, you have to send out his wife also, which means all the years that she's with him under you got to support her and her kids and feed her and clothe her and all the kids. So they say if you buy an Eved for yourself, you're buying a master. He stole from you, who knows, $50,000 you have to support for 6 years the kids in the yeshiva and clothes. Maybe it's better to let the whole forget about it. The man's destitute, he has nothing. But you have to send out the wife when he's free, and the kids, and support them while they're there. Im Adon of Yitin Lo Isho, which means, if he's a married man, the master has a right to give him a non-Jewish girl. Now it's a question, does he have to? Or could the master give him a woman, not a wife, to live with in order to have children to produce slaves? Because that woman that the Jewish master owns is a Goyish woman. She's a Shifcha Kananis. And her children are like her, Goyish kids. And therefore he has a whole set of slaves coming from that. He owns the slaves forever. That Shifcha never gets freed, or that Eved Kanani that he has never gets freed. And the kids are abundant forever and ever and ever and ever. It's an Isser Doraisa, ever to free a Gentile slave. Ever, ever. You know why? You're doing something very bad to them if you free them. When an Eved Eved Kanani becomes your slave, you're raising his level from a Goy to a half a Jew. Because the Eved Kanani man has to keep the mitzvahs of a woman. Half the Torah. So, and you give him a bris, not for a Jew, as an Eved Kanani to be a Chatzi Yehudi. Half Yehudi, you got to keep Shabbos, eat kosher, but he doesn't have to do what men have to do. No tefillin, no tzitzis, no Talmud Torah, no shaking a lulav, doesn't have to sit in the sukkah. So an Eved Kanani is a Chatzi Yid, so you took a guy, you made him a Chatzi Yid. How could you ever free him? If you free him, you're coming back to guy again. We have a concept, Malim Bakodesh, rainbow reader. You go up and never down. You can't sell him, ever. Because if you free him, he goes back to his original status. Malim Bakodesh, you raise things, you don't lower things. But let's say you did an Aveira and you sold him. It's an Issa D'Oraisa to sell him, because it says, Olam Bahem Ta'bodu. They must work for you forever. It's not an Issa. You mabatal mitzvahs aseh. La'olam Bahem Ta'bodu. Let's say you sold him. You get an Aveira, but he's free. Now he's totally back to a guy. He can opt to be a Yid, only when you free him. He can never opt to be a Yid while he's your slave, because he's not a free man. The only way a Ger can become a Ger if he's totally free on his own. So therefore, he can never become a Ger when you own the Eved Kanani. You give him a bris for an Eved Kanani, not a Yid. If you free him, which you did in Aveira, you mabatal a mitzvah say of l'olam ham tabodi, you mabatal that, so then he can become a Yid if he wants. Anyhow, let's go back to Eved Ivri. So if he's a bachelor, he goes out of bachelor. If he's a married man, then the boss can give him, the Baal who he robbed from, can give him a woman to live with, to produce children. Im Adon of Yitin Lo Isho, as a man gives him a woman, not a wife, the old Bovanin, and he has children, O Banos or girls, when he goes free, the woman and the children stay with the master. It's not his wife, it's not his kids. But he goes say, and he goes out, by himself. With what he came in, with his wife, he only gets a Gentile woman if he's a married man, never a bachelor. But if the Eved says, now you're going to find out what kind of low person this Eved is. First of all, he's a thief. He stole from you. And he's not smart, because if he realizes he's a destitute man, and he stole, and if he gets caught, he'll become a slave, he shouldn't have slept, he shouldn't have stolen, he shouldn't have asked for a tzedakah. He's not too smart, because you want to be a slave. Well, you look at this guy, you'll see he wants to be a slave. Omar Yoma, he says it constantly, Eved, the Jewish slave. Well, Hafti said, Doni, I love my master. I don't want to be a free man. As Ishti, my shivcha, calls her a wife. It's not a wife. No kedushin there. It's just good. I love my shivcha. That's bad. But I like my children I got from her. Though I don't want to be free. Can you imagine how the Jewish wife feels? Higisha Adonov as Elohim. His master brings him over to Elohim. That's a code name for Bezdin. Elohim is God. Elohim is a powerful force. Elohim is anything that could hurt you. A Bezdin could execute you. Elohim is Bezdin. Higisha Adel bring him to the door. Olam mezuzah, with the doorpost. Barotza Adonov as Ozno, and he drills his earlobe right down here, like every little 2-year-old baby gets their earlobe drilled for. It's not hurting. It's not an idea of pain. Like a hole in the earlobe. The Es Ozno, his right earlobe. The Matseya with the drill. A little drill, you drill it through. But Avodil, he works for you for this Eved forever. Chas v'sholom, it does not mean forever. But it says Olam. But it doesn't mean Olam. It means till Yovel. Yovel could come tomorrow. Or in 10 years. Maybe it's in 50 years. He works for you until that world is over, which means at Yovel, everybody gets their land back, the original terrestrial land. No one is poor forever. The poor syndrome only lasts 50 years. And then everyone gets the land back, new start, reset. Everybody's equal now. Give another chance for a person to make it. The Olam means that poverty cycles overnight start again. Everybody gets the land back, all debts are canceled. So Matseya is a drill. I want to tell you something, Rabbi saying. Matseya is Gematria 400. After 400 years, since Yitzchak was born, and he heard these, and the children, Abraham knew that Yitzchak his children are going to be a slave. Until he got out of Mitzrayim, from the night of Yitzchak was born till Yetzias Mitzrayim. Yitzchak was born 400 years before Yetzias Mitzrayim. From the night of Yitzchak, when Yitzchak was born, the 15th of Nisan, until he got out of Mitzrayim, the night of 15th of Nisan was exactly 400 years. Matseya, a drill, is 400 years. You, Jew, do not want to be free. After the Yidden spent 400 years in Mitzrayim as slaves and God took them out, you don't understand freedom? You want to be a slave, so you have to have your ear drilled? Earlobe? You want to be a slave? 400 is Matzah. You don't want to be free like your great-grandfathers came out of Mitzrayim after 40 years. You don't like freedom? Even a great American patriot in this Revolutionary War said, Lahabdul, give me liberty or give me death. You don't want to be free? You're a loser. You're a loser. That's why it says you can sleep with a Geisha woman because you're below Madrega. And there's certain mitzvahs you don't do because you're Baal, your master wants you to serve him. There's certain mitzvahs you can't do. You're a loser. Because first of all, you're a ganef. You could be the poorest man in the world. You're not a ganef. You're a ganef and you don't have the money. You're not even smart. So, you have to work forever. That means till you owe them. Next din. Now, he could become a slave for two reasons. Either he stole and can't pay back, or he sold himself. He's destitute. Now, there's a whole machlokas if he gets drilled, and the man Mocher Atzmo who sold himself, does he get drilled? He doesn't get drilled. By the way, why drill the ear? Because it's a mushal. When Hashem said in the Seres Dibros, don't worship other gods, don't have any other Baalim, no masters, and he says, don't steal. And he says, I am your master, don't have any other masters. This man took his earlobe, stuck it in his ear, Made believe he didn't hear it. He wants to have another master beside Hashem, this human master. So then next time, it's only a mushroom. Next time there'll be a Torah would be given. It's not true, but it never could happen twice. But once Hashem will give the Torah again, the hole in the ear, even though you stick it in your ear, it'll go through that hole. You'll hear clearly, I am your avodai, they're my servants, not servants to any other human being. This man didn't hear the message. He can stay. If he gets the ear drill, he can stay till Yovel. And physically, they have to eject him. Now let's go further. Man is poor. He can't support his daughter. He sells his daughter. Imagine what we're talking about here. A man sells his daughter. For a maidservant, a little 8-year-old girl, 7-year-old girl, 6-year-old girl, 10-year-old girl, sells her. You can't do it after she's older, but when she's up to 12, for a house assistant, a little girl that helps the mother. She doesn't go out after 6 years. She goes out before. Well, as soon as she has certain bodily simonim that she's an adult, she goes out. If she is bad in the eyes of her master, he doesn't want to marry her. Let's say the master was 20 years old and she's 11. And those girls were very mature, very young. And she only can work for a year, maybe till she's 12, till she has simonim of bagrus, simonim of maturity, then she has to go out. So if a man doesn't want to marry her, she's a poor girl, obviously, maybe that's what the father wanted somebody to marry her. For some reason he doesn't like her. He didn't marry her. Yewd, it's called. The hefta, he can free her. Don't sell her to a guy. She's a young girl. To a Gentile. Don't overpower her. To sell her. Since you took care of her in the beginning, you put your begodim over her. You took care in the beginning. Her father sold her once. It's bad enough. Don't sell her to a guy. Let her go free. But if he marries her to his daughter, his son, that's good. Then that son who's, I don't know, the father's 40, the son is 20, whatever, and the girl's 11. And if he marries her, he has to treat her like a regular Jewish woman. If to his son he sells her, Yewd, it's not Nisuyin, it's a little different thing. She has to get like every other Jewish girl gets. And he takes this father or the son who marries her, takes another wife, because bigamy is permissible, even polygamy. Average person can have up to 8 wives, a king up to 18. But we forbid it now after Rabbeinu Gershon. So the Sephardim didn't accept Rabbeinu Gershon, and the Ashkenazim did. And then everybody could have had more than one wife. By the way, no woman is going to marry a man unless he has money. Especially if he has another wife, or 2 or 3. Fourth wife doesn't come in unless there's something for her. Wealth. Poor people don't have multiple wives. It's hard enough to support one. Anyhow, so it was never, you'll never find in the Gemara ever. I don't think even once, where a Tana or a Amor had more than one wife. Nobody in Jewish history. The Avos, Abraham, he had 2 or 3. Yaakov had 4, okay? Who else? Who can you find? Yitzchak had 1, who? Noach, 1. You can hardly ever find a up-class Talmud Chacham who had more than one wife. That's tzaddik. Usually simple people, rich, simple people. I don't think Italian ever more ever. It's permissible, but not suggested. A lot of things in life are permissible, but highly not suggested. He takes another wife. Besides the one, this young girl. She'era, her flesh, means her food that she needs for her body, all bodily needs. Kesuso, all her clothes. And to be with her intimately, you can't ignore her. You have to give it to her. Just like the second wife you took, or the third, or whatever. This woman cannot ignore her. She's a Jewish girl who happened to be poor. You have to give her everything everyone else has. She'era kesuso v'anosa. She'era means all food and whatever she needs, cosmetics, whatever. Kesuso, clothes. V'anosa, her time with you have to not ignore her. Lo yigo, don't eliminate that. If he doesn't do these 3 things, he marries her, or his son marries her, or he doesn't free her. Then she goes out by herself, no money. She owes you nothing. Even if the father paid, you paid the father. $10,000. You thought the girl would work for the next 4 years, but she happened to get simonim of narus very quick before 12, maybe 11. She lost it. That's as she goes. Next thing, Maki ish v'meis. You strike a man and he dies as a result of the blow. Most you must be put to death. That means with a sayif, with a sword. You are decapitated. There's 4 capital punishments. The worst is skila, sreifa, hereg, v'chenek. Skila, stoning. Sreifa, burning. They put a hot lead down your throat. Hereg, decapitation. And chenek, choking. Now, it was almost never used, but it was a very severe threat, so people stayed in line. They behaved themselves. So when it says most, you must, it's besayif. How do you know? Because Chacham tells these words mean well, decapitation with the sword. You kill somebody, you get executed. You kill Makeh, you have to be an adult. And you, the killer, can be male or female, but you have to be an adult. You kill Ish, a man or a woman, even a katan. The perpetrator has to be a mature man or woman. And then whoever you kill, man or woman or a child, and he died directly because of your blow, most you must put that man to death. And you didn't. Here's another case. You didn't trap the man. You didn't plan it. It's not premeditated murder. It's not murder one. It's not premeditated. Just it happened. Hashem caused it to happen to you. You were backing up your car. You didn't see a little kid behind you, or you were driving down the street very safely, and you put on the brake, and it was ice, and you slid and killed somebody. You never planned it, but God used you and that victim because you're both no good. He wants to punish you because the brakes could have hold. You could have missed them. It could have been another person. When anything like this happens bad, it's your fault, really, because Hashem would not have used you to do a terrible thing. You didn't plan it, it's not premeditated. It was negligence. Well, him, either the other, God caused it, delivered the man into your hand. I have a place for you. You have to run there. Because in Jewish law, if you killed a person, the next of kin, the brother, the father, the mother, the son, or even if they have no family, they can appoint someone in Bezdin to chase you and kill you. And if he kills you, they're free of murder. The idea of vendetta, revenge, is very important. Because when he kills you, you're going to be forgiven for your errors. You died a misa mishuna, not a normal death. Therefore, Hashem will atone you for what you did, because you're not really innocent. Because it didn't have to happen to you. But Hashem, the famous story in the Gemara: somebody killed someone and intentionally, and another killed someone unintentionally, and it happened. God put them both together in one hotel. And when the hotel, one says, "Could you hold that ladder? I want to go up there and get something." The guy went up the ladder and slipped down and killed the guy down below. The guy down below was killed because maybe 10 years ago, or 20 or 40, or a year ago, he killed somebody intentionally. He was never killed, so now he got executed. This guy, who slipped down, who was still alive, he once killed somebody unintentionally, but no one saw it. Now you have a whole hotel watching. Now you got to run away. You could really run away to Ori Miklat. Hashem can make it work out that people that are really not innocent can work out that they get punished. So this man did a criminal negligence, not intentionally, but it was criminal. Should have been more careful. It's called manslaughter. It's not first-degree murder. I have a place for you, Yonah Shoma, to run over there. What is that? What is that place? There's 6 Ori Miklat. 6 Ori Miklat. And then there's 42 other cities that are not, they're also mikla, but they're not as effective as the 6. Together there's 48. So this pasuk here, there's Samti, Lecho, Mokom, Asher, Yonus, Shoma, is 6 words. There's 6 Ori mikla. And 42 other cities that protect you, but not so strong. There's a difference. Now my father asked this question in the Mayom Beis HaShe'eva. He says, suppose a person kills himself. It doesn't mean you murder, suicide. You kill your neshama. You do terrible averos. You eat chametz and pesach. You don't have a bris milah. You michal Shabbos. Whatever. You do terrible things. You drink, eat dam, boil nido. Those you do terrible things that they're chayiv misa things. Suppose you kill your neshama. and you want to do tshuva, you have an ear mikvah. 6 words in Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Do tshuva. Do tshuva, daven very well. And then say the next Parsha V'Hafto that has exactly 42 words. 642 is 48. There's a way to save your own life from the avenger, the Goel Hadam. That's the Malach HaMoab is coming after you if you don't do tshuva. That's the Goel Hadam. That's the blood avenger. That's the Malach HaMoab. The Satan wants to get you if you don't do tshuva. You have a way to save yourself. What's your klita? What is your saving thing? 6 words in Shema Yisrael. And 42 words of V'Hafto. It's a beautiful thought. Tremendous thought. My father brings that down, but I saw it from another person too, the famous Ohev Yisrael, a certain Hasidic Rebbe. The Ohev Yisrael says that. Right. But now we get to another law. I told you, every few Besukim is another din. We have 58 mitzvahs here in this Sedra. 28 subjects and 58 mitzvahs. If a man plans on his friend to first degree murder, premeditated, the Hargab Armo to kill him with cleverness, some kind of plan to jump out of a car and shoot him, or put a switch on his ignition when he turns it on and blows himself up. Well, I don't know, something like that. Or you shoot somebody intentionally. So if you do it intentionally, first degree murder, the Armo with cleverness, premeditated, from my Mizbeach, even a Kohen, rip him off the Mizbeach. That's what it means. Before he does the avodah, he's about to do the avodah, rip him off. Even Kohen. No special, no favoritism. Take him out, take him lamus to execute him by cutting his head off. Saif means decapitation. Another din. Maka ove v'imo, most you must. You strike your father and your mother, you must be put to death. This time, most you must is not saif, it's chenek. Saif is number 3. The 4th, the easiest one, is chenek, choking. How do you know? Both say most you must. The way it's worded, you learn the Rashis, you'll see. Most you must here means chenek. If a misa b'dei shemayim comes, you just drop like that. There's no sign. So when you choke a guy, you're not supposed to make any bruise on his neck. You just choke him, and then you release him, and you don't notice anything on his body how he was killed. That's like heavenly killing. That's the least of man, of a bezdin. Chenek is, there's no simonim on the body. Skila, your body's all broken up. Streifa, you're burnt. Hereg, you have no head. Chenek is you just choked in you, and it can't hurt your neck. It can't bruise your neck. So chenek is the type of misa that looks like misa b'dei shemayim. That's why most humus is either from heaven, you just drop dead, or chenek. And so if you hit your father and mother, you don't kill them, you hit them. You make a chaburo, you draw blood, and make a wound, you're done. You have Adam, you finished. Going to Isha B'charu, you steal a man and you sell him. Kidnapping. You have to steal him, and sell him. When it's to be other, you find a man in your hand. You find in your property, you find the man in your property, and you in the property of the person you sold him to, or you find him in your property before you sold him, but he's sold, but he's still in your property. Most you must. You have to be put to death with chenek, joking. Most you must. A man who curses his father and mother, you must be put to death. Now here it says, Maka you put to death with chenek, the least of the 4. Remember I told you, skila, sreifa, herek, v'chenek, the least is herek. 2 pesukim later it said, Mekalel Imo, you curse your father and mother, most you must. Here it's skila. Why is it you hit your mother and father? That's not such a bad thing. You curse them, you don't even touch them, you get worse. Why? Why is that Makeh Imo, you get chenek, which is the 3rd of the one before the worst. But Mekalel, you get number 1, skila. Why? You know why? When you hit your father or your mother, how do you know for sure 1,000% that's your father? You assume it's your father. I know this is a phone because I see it. How do you know that man's your father? Your mother told you, everybody said so. How do you know? Maybe nobody knows. Maybe it's not your father. How do you know? There is a suffix there your whole life, every human being. 99% you're sure. Yeah, you look like him, maybe, could be. But you have no vadai proof. You have to have two witnesses to see everything to prove that something is true. So it is a little doubt there that this man that you hit is your father. So you get one less, you get the third one. But cursing, somebody's your father. Whoever he is, you curse them, that's worse. You have a father somewhere, living or dead. You do have a father, or your mother. That you do. The man you struck, you don't know, but you have a father and a mother. That's worse, because you do have a father and mother, and you curse them, even after death. That's worse. That's skill of stoning. And by the way, you know how they stone a person? They put him on a platform twice as high as him. An average person is 3, almost 6 feet. You put him on a 12-foot platform, and he's 6 feet, 18 feet, top of his head to the ground. Then you push him back. He just has the loincloth on, hands tied behind his back. You push him back, he breaks his neck. And if not, you push him forward on his face, he breaks his neck. If he doesn't break his neck and dies, then they put a big boulder on him. Boom! And if not, the rest of the people stone him with little stones. That hardly ever happened. It's only theoretical. Not theoretical, it happened a few times. Very, very seldom. It's better to have severe threats than to have anarchy, what we have today. People get killed, other people, and in 7, 8 years they're out, while that person is still under the ground. 7, 8 years they let a murderer out. They shouldn't put him in jail at all. They should execute him. It says in the first Parsha of Torah, you have to be executed for you took another life. You're Chaim Misa. Has to be vadai proven, you know. If two people are fighting with a weapon, a rock, a stake, a piece of wood, a pipe, a gun, or the fist is closed, you know, and they socks them. Two people are fighting. One smacks, hits the other. But Evan with a stone, any kind of object, or a closed fist. He doesn't die right away. The Nafal the Mishkov, he falls into bed for a day, a week, a month. If he can within 24 hours get out, walk out or outside, on his own strength, no one has to hold him. The Nikamaka, the slayer is innocent of murder, but he's going to be guilty the rest of his life to pay for the doctor bills. Rak, however, Shivto, his sitting, unemployment, Yitain has to pay. Rapo Yerape, and he has to pay all the doctor bills. Now this is the din of the compensation for a hurt person that it's called the Hey Tashlumim, the 5 ways you make up. When you hurt somebody, you have to pay either, or, all of them, or Nezek, Tsar, Ripoy, Sheves, Boshes. Nezek, the damage you caused him. Maybe he's a mailman, you broke his legs, he can't work, you got to pay for that the rest of your life. Suppose he's a dinosaur with his eyes, you might blind him, you got to pay for that. You have to pay for that salary that he would have gotten. Suppose he's, I don't know, anything. Nezek, damage, Tsar, the pain, you got to, the court will, the Bezdin will assess how much pain it is. Ripoy, doctor bill, Sheves, unemployment, and Boshes, embarrassment. It's called the Hey Tashlumen. You got to pay for them the rest of your life. You may not be executed because you didn't die within 24 hours, but you're guilty the rest of your life. Then it says Rapa Yerape. You have to pay all the doctor bills. From here we learn a drasha. We're up to Shani, by the way. Rapa Yerape. It says earlier last week, 2 weeks ago, he says all the machel, all the sickness that I gave him in Mitzrayim, I didn't give to you. And kol machale is 83. Machale is 83. 83 sicknesses in the world. All the sicknesses in the world fall in 83 categories. If you want to save yourself from sickness, eat simple food. Lechem and melech, also 83. It's lechem, machal, I think it's 86, 83, whatever it is. It's a certain amount of diseases. So it says over there, I'm not going to call machal something lower. I'm not going to give it to you. I am your doctor. So the question is, if you're not going to get it, why you have need a doctor? Which means, if you violate the Torah, I will punish you, but I will heal you too. You do tshuva, I'll heal you. I'll punish you, but I'll heal you. Here it says, Rape Yerape, the doctor has to heal you. What's the difference between if Hashem heals you and with a doctor heals you? Ani Hashem Rofecho, the fei has no dot in it. It's a soft fei. Rafa, I can heal you without incisions and operations and amputations. I can do it in my nice, soft way. Sometimes you have to go to a doctor. He makes a cut and an operation once and twice and amputations. Rabbi, the fey has a dot in it. Pay. It hurts. It's not soft like fey. Here's Rabbi. Also, we learn from this that Hashem makes you sick, and you have a right to go to a doctor and ask him to heal you. Pay the doctor bills and take up your time. You will mechuyev to go to a doctor, have yourself cured. It's not like some of these religions who say that if God made him sick, let God heal him. No. Hashem made you sick. Rabbi. Here you have reshus for a doctor to heal you. How do you know? Because it says that here. Rabbi. Tanya debei Rabbi Shmuel. Rabbi. Mikan, from here you learn. Shenitna reshus. God gave permission. L'rofe, to a doctor, folks, to heal you. I gave you permission to do it. That's why you go to a doctor. You're not going to wait till Hashem do it. You're going to die. You're in Russia. You're killing yourself. You're not allowed to do that. Rabbi side, we're finished for this Sedra. And stay well. And remember, this week is Shabbos Avarachim Adar. And Shabbos Shkolim. And it's coming. Purim is coming. Get them Chatzi Shekels and learn the Megillah. Not a day before. Right now, learn the whole Megillah. Every word. Unbelievable things in the Megillah. Rabbi Sai Zagazon.